Hello, this is day one of my trip on the Alaska cruise. I hope you enjoy this saga. We started the cruise on July 20th of 2026 by catching our early morning flight from Indianapolis to Seattle. By early morning, I mean we had to be at the airport at 7 o'clock. Well, actually, our plane took off at 7 o'clock, so we had to be at the airport at 6 o'clock. Backward planning means that we had to be parked at 5:45, which means we had to leave our house at 4:45, i.e. that's pretty fucking early. So, off we go, driving to Indianapolis, no problem, park no problem, get on the shuttle bus to the airport, no problem. If any of this sounds familiar, it's the reverse process of what I always tell people when they want to come and visit me. Take a flight to Indianapolis, grab the shuttle bus, come down to Bloomington, let me know when you're here, and I'll see if I have time for you, right? Except this time I drove. Sometimes I say I'll drive to the airport and meet you if you're like that special kind of person. So we being me and my life partner, drove to the airport, got on the shuttle bus, went to the airport, and dropped our luggage, got on the plane, only to find out the plane is delayed by a half hour, which is no big deal, except our timeline is real tight to get onto the ship in Seattle. And even the half-hour delay started to put pressure on us, so, we just had to sort of have faith that we would get there on time. We get into our seats. We did not pay extra to get an assigned seat because I think that's a rip-off and I hate to be ripped off. And if we don't sit together on the plane, frankly, neither of us gives a fuck. But we did get put together on the plane. I was on the window seat and the partner was on the middle seat. And I will tell you, it was Alaska Air, and that is like being a fucking sardine in a can of sardines in there, man. Oof, talk about tight fit. Very uncomfortable. The flight was 5 hours. I did not eat anything. I did not even have a sip of water because the last thing I wanted to do was have to get up and use the bathroom and climb all over everybody to go to the fucking bathroom. I find that demeaning. I don't know why. Everybody has to get out of the way and then let me go because I'm on the window seat. And then everyone gets out of the way when I return because I'm in the window seat. Of course, I did have to use the bathroom, and so the other two people on the aisle seat and the middle seat, they both went to the bathroom first, and I had to wait. Then they stood around waiting for me to get out of the bathroom, and then we all sat back down together. Thankfully, it was a one-time event, using the bathroom on the way to Seattle. So I'm on the window seat. My life partner is sitting next to me. We land in Seattle. The flight actually went fairly well otherwise, right? We land in Seattle. I opened the window. I had the window closed for the whole trip. I opened the window when we land in Seattle because I like to look at the scenery. I like to look at the land, the lay of the land as we approach the city. Very nice, mountainous, etc., blah, blah, blah. Anybody who knows Seattle knows what I'm talking about. Pretty scenic. And as we're looking out the window, it just so happens that we see the luggage people taking the luggage off the plane. And we're both going, oh man, I hope our luggage came through okay. And right when we're talking about it, we only had one carry-on, or correction, we only had one check bag. We had two carry-ons, one each, and then we had one shared check bag. And as we say that, our check bag starts getting pulled off the plane, and 2 out of the 4 wheels of our suitcase are broken off. So there's only 2 wheels left. It's like, motherfuck, man, that's the last thing you want to see. Your own luggage got broken coming off of the airplane. And even the dude who tried to pick up the baggage handler, who was stacking the bags as they came off of the airplane, he cut his fingers where the wheels should have been because of the cracked plastic there. So it was just an all-around shit show on the suitcase. So we're thinking, oh fuck, man, we got to buy a new suitcase now, we get our suitcase, and I trying to figure out what to do, like how to file a claim for the luggage. And fortunately, right there where we picked up our suitcase, they had a complaint desk or whatever, a claim desk. So I went over there, we fill out the form, and at the end of doing all the process, the person goes, well, wheels usually aren't covered, but you'll hear from the airline within a month or so on the status of your claim. When did you buy the thing? When did you buy the suitcase? How long ago? How much did you pay for it? It's like, who the fuck knows how much they paid for a suitcase a couple of years ago, right? I don't know, maybe some people know that. I sure as hell don't. So we made up some numbers. $100 for the suitcase, I don't know. 2 years old, who knows, right? And then off we go to so I have to drag this broken suitcase. I have to drag this broken suitcase through the airport. Now, it had 4 wheels, and that means that you could squarely roll it around the airport. The 2 wheels that were remaining were not the ones that you would normally leverage if you were going to just tilt it and have it on 2 wheels. It was the other 2 wheels away from the handle. So I have to do a reverse carry on this. And believe me, it was not a easy way to move that luggage. We had to find and then go to the cruise company's shuttle bus to take us from the airport to the cruise ship itself, because we had prepaid for that ticket anyway. The last thing I want to do is have to take an Uber from the airport to the dock and try to figure out where the hell I'm supposed to go. So we arrived at the ship area, dragging that suitcase. I'm warning all the baggage handlers on the bus and everywhere we go, be careful with this. It has 2 broken wheels. I don't want you to get hurt. It's hard to carry because the back 2 wheels got broken off. I feel like a fucking fool having to talk about this shit, right? And so we get our bag, we get checked into the cruise, we go up to our room, drop off our carry-ons and our purse. I had my computer bag, my life partner had a purse, right? We drop all that shit off in the room, and we're on the boat. Got to figure out what to do. So we're just sort of hanging around, and they're doing karaoke. And there's a couple kids there. They're like not even a dozen people doing the karaoke. Just early people who got there and who knew. I looked it up on my phone, so I knew there was karaoke going on. I said, let's go fucking listen to the karaoke. What the fuck? I might even sing a song if I'm so inspired, right? We got a drink. I had a strawberry margarita. So we go and ask for a strawberry margarita. And these cruise people, they just don't know how to make a drink. Not one shaving of ice, not one cube of ice in our strawberry margarita. Just the mixer plus the alcohol. So I had to go back and get 2 glasses of ice, and then we poured our mix into the glass with the ice and drank it. So I had my margarita. We had our margaritas there, and there was some crappy jazz band playing in there. So we said, let's go check out the karaoke, because we were waiting for everybody to get on the boat before the boat can depart. And so we're going there, and these kids are singing karaoke, and actually they weren't bad. There were 2 families, and they just kept trading karaoke songs. You could tell they got sort of tired of picking karaoke. And I had my fucking margarita. I'm on the boat. Don't know anybody on the boat. So no matter what I do, I can't really embarrass myself too bad if I do a karaoke. And so I go to the guy and I ask him, are you allowing old people to do karaoke? And actually, I wasn't supposed to do that. It was just supposed to be for kids as people came on the boat. But I didn't know that. So like half jokingly, I asked the guy, are you allowing old people to do karaoke? He goes, sure, And so I picked a song, and the song I picked was Pink Floyd's Another Brick in the Wall. I'm sure you guys all know that song, we don't need no education. That one. And so I picked that song. It's finally my turn, because I was like 3rd in line. None of the other kids were going back to add to the queue of karaoke choices. And so it's my turn. I get up there, and they start playing the music, but the words don't come on the screen, just the music. And of course I know those words because I've heard that song a million times. I mean, most people, even if they don't listen to Pink Floyd, they know the song. They almost know the words. And so I just started singing it anyway. And it was sort of fun, actually. Like halfway through, finally they figured out how to get the words on the screen, and I had made it through half the song knowing the words on my own anyway. And I looked around, and people were cheering me on a little bit. I could see some smiling faces, even the kids who were 10, 12, 13, 14 years old. They knew the words and they were singing along too. And it was fun. Finally the words came on and I finished the song. And one thing my life partner mentioned was, your voice was so deep singing that. And it's funny because all the times that I'm hosting these streams, people, your voice, your voice, your voice, So I thought it was sort of funny that was mentioned. Your voice was so deep. Sort of cool. And so after I sang that song, I did my bow, and on our way we went. And we're just sort of goofing around for that evening. Dinner, oh my God, oof. The food. So this is bad news, actually. They have the buffet on the ship. Just open buffet. You go grab whatever you want to eat, right? We go and eat, and the food just sort of was not very good, just frankly speaking. It might have been left over from the prior cruise or something. Just not very good, not very fresh, and getting a little esoteric perhaps, but it gave me an upset stomach, to put it politely. So we're on the cruise, and on the ship PA system later on that evening, the captain announces that apparently there's some kind of dysentery going on the ship, and any of the staff who was infected or was affected by the dysentery is not allowed to work with the public until they are okay. It's like, oh fuck, man, this is a shitty, so to speak, shitty way to start the cruise, right? But anyway, so fortunately, the only happy ending to that aspect of the whole story is it only lasted for that evening, and by the next day my stomach was sort of, I would say, back to normal, right? So we take out of port about 5 p.m. out of Seattle, and we're just chugging along, heading up the west coast of North America, moving up toward Alaska. Nothing eventful really happened that night. Couldn't stream. There was really, I didn't have any quiet time, just my own time, no me time to have a stream. So off we just went on the cruise, doing whatever, nothing much, no shows, not really anything to do, just wait for time to pass until we reach our destination. And that is the end of day one.